Who are you? How did you get in here? Do you want to buy a secret lair? Hey kids, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, we're going to be sitting back, relaxing, and talking about starter products for the various TCGs out there on the market. You see, a big issue that a lot of card games have is that they have what we would call a revolving door of customers. There are people who will get into the game, buy a few products, stick around for a year, maybe 2 years, and then move on with their lives. And a lot of card games have to contend with the fact that they have a very limited time to kind of get people playing their games. So most are always on the lookout for ways to bring more people into the game, and they try a few different ways to entice new players. And one of the ways they do that is with various products specifically designed to onboard players into their game, teach them the basics, and give them a good starting point for their collection and play experience. And I've just got a few examples here that I want to share with you guys. 3 examples, and I'm going to talk about how effective I think each of them is. So the first one we have here is this Battle Academy. This is the second one, I think, that Pokemon did, and this is what I consider a really solid option for new players, because yeah, it has some decks inside that they're fine, but it also comes with rules. You know, it comes with a custom little rule book. It comes with this really solid, I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw this way back when I grabbed this bad boy, you know, it's got this like folding hard cardboard playmat that has like quick references for what you can do on your turns, the game zones. It doesn't want to stand up. Like, it's pretty big and it's pretty well detailed. It, you know, gives you an idea of where to put the prize cards, where to put your bench, the play zone, all that jazz. And I think that for a game like Pokemon, Battle Academies are a great idea, especially if they are priced relatively cheaply. I know that the Pokemon companies tried selling them for like, I want to say it was like $25 or something they were trying to sell it for, but most people weren't buying it at that price. For an introductory product, you want it to be cheap and available, especially if it's aimed more towards kids, because like the Pokemon card game is aimed towards like 10-year-olds, you know, in terms of complexity. I overall think products like the Battle Academy that have a curated play experience where you have 2 specific decks going up against each other that are designed to play against one another, I think those are a great idea. I also really like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks, especially the themed structure decks. Order of the Spellcasters Reloaded. I wonder what the Reloaded title means. I like the themed structure decks for 2 reasons. One, it gives fans of a specific archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there are a lot of archetypes that have their big fans. It gives them a nice little intro starting product for their collection if they're just looking to collect that archetype or that deck type. Whatever. There's a bunch of Blue Eyes decks, for instance, and people love Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans love that stuff. I also like structure decks because they're a good onboarding experience for competitive play. Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks often, not always, but often have reprints of pretty useful cards for tournament play. And more than once in the past, you could buy a Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck. You could just buy 3 of them, slap them together, and you'd have a tournament viable deck right there ready to go for like $30. I know there's a big joke in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community that you have to spend $900 just to get in the door, but truth be told, more than once in the past, yeah. I remember, what was it, the Machina Force structure deck way back in the day? You could just buy 3 of those. It came with a Pot of Avarice, I think it was. Amazing card back in the day. Yeah, you could just play 3 of those structure decks. The recent Dark World structure deck, you could get 3 of those and slap them together. The Blue Eyes deck, you could slap 3 of those together. So when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Getting interest into the game, I like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks because they are a great way to bring new players into competitive play, which is really cool, especially considering how cheap it can be done. The final product I want to share with you kids today is what Magic's been doing with a lot of their sets recently when it comes to these starter kits, the arena starter kits. For a lot, not all, but a lot of the new sets, Magic the Gathering has been putting out these little 2-deck intro products that have the basics, 2 decks inside, the basic rules, and a code card to get those decks on MTG Arena, because obviously they want to try to get people on their digital platform. I like these, especially a lot of the newer ones, especially the Universes Beyond ones, because more often than not, they'll have their own unique cards that incentivize older players or the more ingrained players to get these as well. But it also gives players who are just looking to get into the game a pretty unique gameplay experience. These aren't cards you're going to find in normal packs. These are cards you're only going to get here, and they're rather enjoyable as a result. They're not amazing, they're not super powerful, but they are fun to play with. Magic used to do welcome decks that were, you could get them for free at your LGS, and they just taught you the basics of the game. But those were never really popular, and because of how easily available they weren't really worth anything. The question in this video is our welcome products, our introductory products, worth it to invest in, to collect in, to hold on to for long periods of time? And I think the answer is, most of the time, yeah, they're pretty good. I don't think they're the greatest thing you could pick it up. For example, I don't think Battle Academy for Pokemon, I would not want 3,000 of those sitting on a shelf. I would never get rid of them. But I do think starter kits with unique cards inside it, and structure decks, which have tournament viable cards and new printings of new cards. I do think products like those that have their own unique cards inside, I think those are usually, more often than not, very collectible. In fact, I'm such a huge fan of the structure decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! That I always buy a display of every new structure deck that comes out, and it goes onto my shelf. I grab at least one full display of all the structure decks. I love them so much because I just have a lot of fond memories of just playing with structure decks from when I was a kid, As for the arena starter kits, I do like them a lot. I confess that I like them a lot, even if the idea of trying to push players onto arena doesn't really jive with me. I do like the fact that Wizards is providing a unique gameplay experience, giving new players unique cards that aren't necessarily high in demand for tournament viability. So, there's not those crazy evil scalpers trying to just rip them out of everyone's hands. They're available, they teach you how to play the game, and they give you the option to hop onto Arena if that's your thing. And I like the Battle Academy because while MSRP is usually pretty high, you can find them pretty easily, and if you have kids or if you're just trying to refresh your memory for the game, it's a good learning experience, even if it doesn't have, to my knowledge, unique cards. They do have unique stamps on the cards. The Battle Academy cards do come with their own unique stamps, and I think that's kind of neat. But yeah, those are 3 different kinds of introductory products. I just wanted to talk about those and mention that while I don't think they're all perfect, I do think that if you are looking to add them to your little investment collection, if you want to, grab them just to learn the game, they're good to learn the game. If you're trying to grab them just to get some cool cards, sometimes they have cool cards. And if the price is right, and if you're patient enough, down the road, they could be worth something too. So it hits the trifecta of collectability for my purposes, at least. Anywho, that's all I got for you kids today. A little quick ramble rant. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you really liked it, subscribe and share it with a friend. And I'll see you kids next time. Ciao.